Everybody. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light. Everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light. Everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we meant to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Sing it with me. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we are on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we are on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Good morning. Hi, Manny. Good morning. Let's do the other one. All right, I'm going to go down. We're going to do this other one because my reverend likes this song.
Something we'd rather do.
We'd rather do it. I know, we like both. Can you count me out? Rather be? How about no? We don't do that. That sounded very not right.
Dun, dun, dun.
2, 3, and here we go. One more time, sorry. We're 1,000 miles of comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would wait forever, travel down the sea. As long as I am with you, my heart continues to beat.
With every step we take, Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same, give you another name, switch up the battery.
If you gave me a chance,
I would take it.
It's a shot in the dark,
but I'll make it.
Know with all of your
heart.
Claim it.
When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be.
No, 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 no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no place I'd rather be. We're 1,000 miles of comfort. We have traveled land and sea. But as long as you are with me, there's no place I'd rather be. I would wait for you forever, exalted in the sea. But as long as I am with you, then my heart continues
every step we take. Kyoto to the bay, strolling so casually. We're different and the same. Gave you another name. Switch up the battery.
If you gave me a chance,
I would take it.
It's a shot in the dark,
But I'll make it. Know with all in your heart. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no. No place I'd rather be. No, 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 no. No place I'd rather be. No, 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 no. No place I'd rather be. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be.
All right.
When I am with you, there is no place I'd rather be. Mia Huen Omun Edom. Neto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the lands of the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, the Gabrielino, Tongva, Kizh, and Luiseño peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God intended, in harmony and nature with one another. Good morning, Riverside.
Hey,
Woo!
hey, I have to interrupt.
Okay. What?
Sorry,
What?
it's
What?
kind
What?
of important.
All right.
So this week, our beautiful, glorious minister, who we think is the minister of the year every year, was awarded what is CSL's meritorious minister, which is basically minister of the year of all centers for spiritual living. So only one every year gets awarded. And we know he works his behind off, but now everybody knows he works his behind off with respect to excellence in leadership and service. This is what meritorious minister is. Shows that he has excellence in leadership and service to the organization and to the wider community of Riverside and CSL organization worldwide. So I'd like you guys to pick up those boomsticks that are near you. And let's give Rev Jeffrey a This may go on forever. And I want to say a couple more things, just business announcements, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, there are cards in the lobby that people can sign and write notes. There is a picture frame also in the lobby that you can write your name on, and they will be available in the office all week this week. So if people who are online can't that aren't here today that can make it in, they can do that. Also, if you would like me to sign your name to a card or write a note in a card for you and you're not able to make it in, please email me at president@riversidecsl.org, and I will write it in the card and write your name on the frame. So once again, please email me at president@csl.org. And here we go. Woo-hoo!
Speech. I do that all the time. Truly, I want to say thank you to Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, to this beloved community, our beloved community, the community that has held me so tenderly and so generously and so fully. Because without all of you, I would not be able to do the work that I do in this world. I would not be able to have this vehicle, have this vessel, have this platform through which Spirit uses me in the larger way and in the larger society. So I truly thank you for allowing me to be here and be present, and allowing me and supporting me in helping us move out into the larger world in greater and more expansive ways. You already know that I've been the chair of the Global Themes team for 2 years as chair and served on it for 3. That affects all areas of our organization, including the themes that we speak about from Sunday mornings to the Science of Mind magazine, to the events that we've had, just like the convention, to the ways that small communities, study groups are getting together and studying and learning about this wonderful transformational faith and philosophy that we practice here at Centers for Spiritual Living. And you know that I've been on the visioning team, and together as chair of the visioning team. And so together as this community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, I want you to know that I don't do this alone. I don't do this work by myself, nor do I do it for myself. I do it with all of you, on behalf of all of you, and we do it to create a world that works for everyone and all of creation. And so I am deeply humbled and honored to receive this award, to receive this recognition from our organization as your 2022 Minister's Meritorious Award winner. So thank you to all of you, each and every one of you. Blessings. Thank you. I also want to share with you that we had a fantastic convention that was called, Embrace the Now. I wonder how it got that title. That was called Embrace the Now. And what I want to share with you is that Riverside was represented in force, that it was not just me doing 2 presentations and everything, that Jeannie Kataoka, practitioner Jeannie Kataoka, presented a workshop as well on the connection practice that was well attended and well received. Reverend Victoria Bomberry is the vice chair of CSL's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. And she had the opportunity to present a workshop on DEI and creating DEI statements. So that it was wonderful there. Pat Fromer was there with Jesse, and they were sharing all of their jewelry that they create in the exhibition hall, exhibit hall. I had to say that. Wait a minute. The exhibit hall. Dinah was present, representing us as well there, and then I also want to share with you that our beloved Michelle Geyer, right there in the back of the room, who's doing all of our video and everything, she was there as well. And as you may know, or maybe you don't know, but she's increasingly receiving more and more responsibilities from our organization. It started with the website, and she was out there this week helping to prepare all of the slides for the business meeting, all the PowerPoints for the business meeting. She was out there doing social media, as well as running the bookstore that was out there as well. So there pretty much wasn't anything that she wasn't doing and kind of running around. So she was recognized. I want to share this because I'm very proud big brother. She was recognized 4 times by 4 different leaders on the platform of the business meeting. So, so Riverside's world domination plan is in effect. Kidding. So good morning, beloveds. Good morning, one and all. It is great to be with all of you. I want to say good morning to Pat. Good morning to Jan. Good morning, Greg and Ray. Good morning, Mom and Dad. There we go. Good morning to Buckley. Good morning, Cheryl and Karen and Earl and Denise and Tori. And scrolling down here, there's lots of congratulations. I'm trying to get through some of the Ennison family as well, and Cian. Yes, Cian, I can see you. So great to have all of you joining us this morning. Thank you so much. So let's get together. We've already started. There's no place we'd rather be. Absolutely. So how about we sing our love out into the world as we've been doing all week, as we've been doing for the past 80 years. We've been singing our love. So let's go. Let's sing it. Here we go.
My love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. Last time I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. Woo-hoo.
My name is Amber Holland, and I'm one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Wrong side. Jean Katiota and I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room behind the lobby. Please do not leave here with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you and absolutely know that prayer works. Now please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release. From a world full of chaos and noise. So I wake for these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wake for these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. I find God. I find myself.
Resting into the silence, into that still, quiet place where God is. Breathing in this moment, knowing that it is perfect in every way. That there's just one illuminating light in the darkness, one sound, one voice, one perfect expression of all that is, and I call it God, the divine, the absolute truth, the wisdom and knowing that is always present. It is the love that embraces us, that keeps us, and it is all that can be. It is the power that causes mountains to fall, waves to crash, the flow and energy of life. And it is all that I am. It is each and every part of me. I am made of all the goodness and greatness of spirit. And as I know this for myself, I know this for each and every person, that we are connected to God in every way, that we walk hand in hand with spirit, that all of the power, the grace, the joy, the love, the wisdom, the truth, the energy of God moves through us always. And knowing this, I bless this moment. Knowing that we can open our eyes to the truth of who and what we are. That we are the question. We are the answer. That there is wisdom and truth within us all that is always present. A clear discernment allowing us to know which way to go, which way to move. That there is no place we ever have to go. All we have to do is just open our hearts, our mind, and our spirits to the truth of who and what we are. I bless this day knowing that we are childlike, that we open our eyes to the questions, that we can laugh, knowing that only goodness comes, that we open our arms and our hearts, and we surrender to the truth and the wisdom, to the answer that is already here. And I simply let this be so. And together we say, and so it is.
Here we all are, gathered together in this place. Why are we here? What is our purpose? Spirit reveal. How do we know what's true and what's real? We may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter as long as we believe. that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. What's going on in this world today? Where do we fit? What can we do to make a difference? What can we say? Where do we go? This way or that way? If we all pray and truly believe and love another, we can let the world see that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. Though we may not know where life's road will lead, but it doesn't matter as long as we believe that God is the answer. God is the answer. God is the answer to whatever the question may be. Oh, God is the answer.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yes. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jabel. Thank you, band. Well, there's the end of the message. So let's get to the beginning of the message, shall we? But before we do, how about we say our focus statement? It was such a joy to be able to share our focus statement this week with all the folks that we were meeting at the convention. And it was such a joy to share with them that Riverside, right here in Riverside, where love lives here. Yes, it was such a joy to be able to share that with our folks at the convention. And it was such a joy to be able to share with our folks at the convention our focus statement. So let's say it with C's for convention, like conviction and what? Connection and curiosity. Yes. Compassion. Courage. Celebration. All right, here we go. Let's say it together, shall we? Here it is. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Woohoo! Yes, exactly. All right. So this year here at Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide, we are working with the theme of living everyday wonder. It's right there on that banner, living everyday wonder. And something that I heard at the convention by one of our young people, Charlie Usi. He is a young man out of the Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living, and he had a brief address to the larger audience there in the convention, and he said, "Embrace the wow." I love that. I love to see the evolution of this. So I'm thinking like, live everyday wonder, embrace the wow, right? So this is our theme for this year, and this is also the theme for the month. And so what we've been working with this month is we started off with just kind of living everyday wonder and really painting a broader picture. And then we dove into wonder everywhere, like everywhere we look, everything we see, that we open ourselves up to the possibility of wonder. And then we embraced the now. We began to look at embracing the now. And one of the definitions of curiosity is to bring our attention, our focused attention, to our immediate experience and embracing the now and allowing the now to reveal the perfection of the moment. Because in the now, everything is good in the immediate moment. One of the other things, because it was embrace the now, was so great. Embrace the now was one of our other young ministers said that embrace the now because it's always right on time. I was like, clever. I like that. Right on, Chris, Ashley. So, yeah, so it was very great to hear that too. So it's embracing the now. And remember when we talked about embracing the now, we were talking about the possibility of turning to and relating to our experiences rather than relating from our experiences. You remember that? Relating to our experiences rather than relating from our experiences. So this week, what we're doing is we're going to relate to some experiences rather than relating from our experiences. And we're going to do that with the idea of questions. Question everything, because questions themselves hold within them possibilities. When there's a question, there's a possibility. There's usually at least two possibilities if it's a yes, no, or a either or. There's at least two possibilities, but there's infinite possibilities when we open to questions and when we approach life from a place of questioning. How many of you have ever had a 3-year-old in your life? Yeah, everybody, right? Yeah. Oh, geez, right? You already know where this is going, right? It's like, why? Why? Why is the sky blue? Why is water wet? Why? Because, exactly, because it is, right? So the why, right? They frequently ask why. So young children tend to ask on a daily average between 70 and 100 questions. And for some of you, it's like, no, that's way too low of a number. My grandson asked me at least 1,000 a day, right? So, Trisha. So, it's so they because they ask these questions because they're really curious to learn. They're curious to know more about their environment. They're curious to learn more about their experience. They are trying to fit things in and like take it all in and understand what's going on and what's happening. And they're breathing it in, and they're just naturally curious about life, and it sparks their imagination. It's like, well, if that's true, then could this be true, right? I mean, they're not saying it like that, but if the sky is blue, why is water blue, or why is this blue, right? There's all these questions that continue to expand their consciousness, expand their awareness, and expand their understanding. And then what happens? We're born with natural curiosity. And then as we get a little bit older, maybe a little bit older still, our curiosity maybe is not always there at the forefront, that we're not always seeing things with the eyes of a child. It's like we know why certain things are the way they are. We think we know. That's usually what it is. We think we know why things are the way they are, right? And so as adults, the same study says that adults tend to ask maybe 20 questions a day. Maybe. And usually they're limited questions, or they're very short answer questions. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for dinner? I don't know. Let's go out. Right? Hi, honey. Right? Or it's a yes or no questions, that we tend to ask. It's just a quick information gathering, but it's not really a delving into. And even when we say, hi, how are you? Are we really wanting an answer to that question? Or how was your day? Fine. Yeah, exactly. It was. Okay, great. Right? So what we have the opportunity, my beloveds, to do is when we question everything, is we have the opportunity to think about these things and think about our experiences and bringing our full attention to our awareness, full attention to our now moment, and then begin to approach it with a sense of curiosity, begin to approach whatever is occurring for us, good, bad, indifferent, approach whatever is occurring for us with questions and curiosity. It's like, I wonder about that. What is that really, truly like? How really was your day? I'm really, truly curious about your day and what you achieved. And, as we were talking about earlier on in the month, like, what did you notice today that sparked joy or that caused you to experience awe and wonder? You feel how much more open that is and how much more connecting that is and how much more like curious it is and how there's much more of a conversation that's possible, right? That we begin to ask these questions, we begin to ask new questions because we tend not to think of new questions to ask. We tend just to ask the same old questions over and over and over and over, right? But when we begin to ask new questions about experiences or about our life or what we are experiencing, going, I wonder why this is happening right now. What's really behind my experience in the moment? What is the lesson in this for me? Or, wow, this is such a joyous thing that I'm experiencing. What else brings me joy? How else could I experience joy? How is it that I'm feeling in my body right now when I'm experiencing joy? We begin to ask these questions, and then what happens? We're back to being a kid again, and all of a sudden the range of possibilities open to greater and greater things in greater and greater ways, yes? So one of the questions that's really fun to ask, and because a 3-year-old asks it all the time, is why? Now we tend to be like, no, you shouldn't ask why. It's not up to us to find out why or to know why things are the way it's. But why is such a useful question too, that we shouldn't just let it go by the wayside. Toyota, as in the car manufacturer, right? Toyota was founded by a man named Toyoda, okay? The man who founded it, his last name, Toyoda, for the car company, Toyota. So just wanted to clarify that for our Japanese Americans and our Japanese speaking friends, that it is Toyota is the person, Toyota is the car. Anyway, good. Why, right? So Mr. Toyota came up with a question, exactly that, Cindy, of asking why. He calls it the 5 whys. And so 5 whys the 5 whys tool is really what helps Toyota both innovate as well as continue to move forward and problem solve, to refine problems. So the way the 5 whys are used, the way that those 5 whys are used is there's a situation, there's a problem, there's a challenge. And so then they ask a series of 5 whys. Why is this challenge happening? Why did this thing occur? And then they drill down using the 5 whys to drill down to get to the root cause. Sound familiar? They get down to the root cause of whatever it is, and then once they've arrived at a root cause, then they can begin to use the 5 whys to then innovate to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So if you think about this, we do this with our Science of Mind, Spiritual Mind treatments, yes? We do this when we are wanting to change our lives. What do? We drill down. We recognize that, this cannot be, right? And so we recognize this cannot be, and then we begin to look at, well, what's behind this? What's behind this experience? What helped this spirit experience occur? Where along the way did this idea enter? Where along the way did this idea come into being, or this idea enter my mind, or this belief come in? And how is this belief related to, come on, how is this belief related to the experience? Right? So we drill down, and then once we drill down, then there it is. We get to that thing, and then we can set a new cause in motion, right? We set a new cause in motion by beginning to change the way we're thinking about something, or we begin to shift the belief. And as we shift the belief that we're planting into the fertile soil of spirit, we begin then to see changes in our life, right? So here's the 5 whys doing the exact same thing that we do, that was originated in Japan. Not by Ernest Holmes there, but beautiful. Look at the timeless wisdom. There's only one mind, it just shows up differently, right? And then Mr. Toyota also used it to innovate. So it wasn't just used to drill down to the problem, it was also like, hey, why would we want to change the way we do our production lines? Why should we do that? Why should we create new systems? Why should we? And so doing the 5 whys in the opposite direction, rather than drilling down, doing the 5 whys in the opposite direction and asking questions, getting more and more expansive, because the more questions we ask, the more possibilities. And then expanding out, it's like, oh, maybe we should do that because it's healthier for our employees. Maybe we should do that because it'll bring something new to market, or it'll bring a whole new way of being, or a whole new way of driving. Hello, Prius, right? The technology, right? And just developing the technology to be able to have, a greener environment overall, right? So those are the 5 whys. So that's your transformation tool number 1, Allison. Okay? That's your transformation tool number 1. The 5 whys. So in your life, you can apply this to your own self, as we've been talking about. You can drill down and go, oh, I'm not liking that situation, so let's shift it. Do spiritual mind treatment, get assistance from a prayer practitioner, perhaps, but let's drill down and shift it. Or we could be experiencing some kind of something, like we're curious about something and we want to expand out and really innovate and really change and really grow. And it's like, wow, I have this really great idea, but why? And think of how much more expansive that could be. Here's tool number 2. The other transformation tool number 2 around questions is when there is a problem, as we heard, when there is a problem, what's the answer? Jeff just sang about it. God is the answer, right? But so Karen Russo shared with us earlier this week, all problems, all challenges are mental challenges or mental problems. All solutions are spiritual. Oh, that's exactly what happened in the room that I was in, too. That all problems are mental. They're in this construct. They're in this realm of existence. But the solution is in the spiritual. Just as Einstein said, we can't solve a problem at the level of the consciousness that created it. So we can't solve a problem from the mental realm. So the best place to solve a problem, or the best place to go to an answer, is to, as Homer Johnson used to say, go upstairs, right? It's to go upstairs and listen and be open and available. So what the possibility is here is to, when there is a difficulty or there is a challenge, then the opportunity here is to begin to ask questions. Generate a list of questions. Begin generating a list of questions. Don't try and brainstorm a solution. Start brainstorming more questions, because more questions lead to what? More possibilities. So become curious. Allow yourself to become even more curious about what the experience is. And then once you've generated this list of questions that might help you get a different perspective on your experience, then begin to inquire, begin to ask. Begin a sacred inquiry of spirit. Take those questions in, because frequently what we're doing is we're trying to seek the answers from outside ourselves. We're trying to seek the answers from out here. We go to Google. All right, Google, give me the answer, quick, right? We go to Google, we go to each other, we go to friends, back in the day, we would go to the Encyclopedia Britannica, right? But it's searching outside of ourselves. But what do we know is that there is only one mind, one power, one divine wisdom, and it resides where? It resides within. So rather than seeking the answer without, we have the opportunity to seek the answer from within. Ernest Holmes says, we believe in the direct revelation through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that everyone can be a revealer of truth who lives in direct contact or close contact with the Spirit, with God. And so it is a matter of going in. And so this then becomes a sacred inquiry. It becomes a sacred inquiry of spirit rather than Google, right? It becomes a sacred inquiry of spirit where we turn within and we take those questions into the silence, into that still small space, into that space, as Jeannie so beautifully said earlier, where there are no questions. There's just the answer. Because spirit already knows, divine wisdom already is. We know that we know that we know that we know. That presence, that clarity is there. And so we have the opportunity to make contact with that, make direct contact with that, and then pose the question there. Ask it of spirit, surrender it to spirit, turn it over to spirit. And the more that we practice this, the sharper our intuition becomes, the sharper our hearing, our inner ear becomes. We become attuned to it. So sacred inquiry, yes, can be done through visioning, of course, right? Through our visioning process of what is Spirit's highest idea for my life? What is Spirit's highest idea of the situation? What must I release? What must I embrace? What must I become? And is there anything else for me to know? But it is also an opportunity as a practice of spiritual discernment where we take these questions that we've been talking about, and we can take these questions and ask them of Spirit. And the more we practice that, the more attuned we become, that then we have an ear already tuned to the intuitive self. We have an ear attuned to the spiritual self. We have an ear attuned to the divine wisdom that is within. And so we are more capable of hearing it when it speaks. So tool number 3, my beloveds, an easy way to continue to build this intuitive sense, to continue to build this, is in our what? Everyday lives, do you think? Right? So it can be as simple as going to the end of your driveway and pausing for a moment and just asking, which way do I turn today? That simple. And just waiting for an answer. It could be every time you see a menu from a restaurant or something, that you have the menu and it's like, you might already have an idea of what you want, but you can also just say, what nourishes my body today? What does my palate wish to experience today? Right? And then just open and be available to that. So by asking those questions and by willing to take that pause and just be present with that, we're opening to a greater revelation. We're opening and we are establishing a more direct, right relationship with Spirit in which we are listening. We are attuning ourselves to listen, to hear, and to be guided by Spirit rather than trying to like, Spirit, I want a husband. Spirit, I want a Big Mac. Spirit, I want a parking place, right? That we're opening. So what is the best for me in this moment? What is the best solution in this moment? What is the best in this moment? What's the highest and best in this moment? Ernest Holmes says this about inquiry, and I love this. He says, the entire inquiry of the science of mind is an inquiry into the relationship between God and the individual. And so far as we establish a right relationship, we shall have a corresponding power. The entire inquiry of science of mind is an inquiry into the relationship between God, Spirit, and the individual, us. And the more that we are in right relationship with that, Spirit, the more there is a corresponding power that we experience, right? Because we are coming into alignment with, we are listening, and so then Spirit shows up through and as our life in ways that are readily recognizable to us. And so we have the opportunity, my beloveds, to live in the question, to be in the question, to stay in the question, rather than just jumping to a conclusion. We have the opportunity to stay in the question, to be in right relationship. Jacqueline Winspar says this. It's so beautiful. I love this. Ready? Truth walks in on the paths of our questions. Truth walks in on the paths of our questions. And as soon as you think you have an answer, you've closed the path and are missing opportunities for more vital information. Wait a while in the silence. Wait a while in the stillness. And do not rush to conclusions, no matter how uncomfortable the unknowing is. Truth walks toward us on the path of our questions. If we're willing to be present and to be still and to listen, the answer is revealed. So living in the question creates that spaciousness, and it creates that openness to where Spirit may answer us from. Because doesn't Spirit usually answer you in a weird way? I know it answers me in weird ways. I put out the question, or I put something out, and then all of a sudden it's like, not weird way, but unexpected ways. But Spirit answers in the everyday if we're paying attention to the everyday, if we're embracing the now. Spirit answers in the everyday. Spirit answers in that line from a movie, right? Spirit answers in that meme on social media. Spirit reveals the answer through that conversation you're having with a friend that you didn't realize was going to do that, the casual conversation. Spirit is always showing up. Spirit's always speaking. Spirit's always willing to reveal if we will but hear. And it usually happens in our everyday, which is why living everyday wonder is so amazing and so important for us. And Mary O'Malley, from the book, What's in the Way is the Way. I love this too, because it's true, and it feels like a word of warning, but it's absolutely true, and it's so powerful. And she says, asking a question signals the universe that you are ready to live the answer. And then life lives it through you at the appropriate time. Asking a question signals to the universe, hey, universe, I'm ready to live this answer. Bring it on. And life's going to go, sure thing, here you go. But at the appropriate time. And we also know that the appropriate time is not always our time. It's like, Spirit, I wanted an answer 3 weeks ago and I'm still waiting. No, Spirit shares it when we are available to hear it, as it is most beneficial for us to hear it, as it is most beneficial for us to experience it. So when we ask questions, we are opening to an infinite higher good. When we ask questions and we make that sacred inquiry and we listen to Spirit, we listen and we open to Spirit and we continue to live in the question, we begin to live a life of curiosity. We begin to live that life of grace, that life of Spirit. And we are then guided. Every step of the way is guided and governed by Spirit. And when Spirit is leading the way, you're not going to get lost. You can't get lost. So, beloveds, question everything. And know that Spirit, God, is the answer. And so it is. All right, I invite our practitioners and our ministers to please stand and surround the sanctuary. As they do, I want to remind you that Amber and Jeannie are available for prayer in the prayer room immediately following the service for a brief moment of prayer. And these beloveds are always in service to this community, holding this community and lifting it in love and light and prayer. And I also invite our core council members who are present to also please stand and join them as well. So let's just come together and in that space, and we turn within in that space, as Jeannie so beautifully opened this morning, that space that knows no question, that simply is the answer. That space where Spirit resides, that space where Spirit is, and that space is everywhere present because there is only the one life, there is only the one Spirit, there is only the one power, there is only the one infinite wisdom, the infinite intelligence of the universe, forever making itself known, forever expressing itself as love, as joy, as peace, as harmony, forever expressing itself as life itself. And so I recognize that I am one with this one is the very who of who I am, that right where I am, Spirit is, that right where I am, wisdom is, that right where I am, the answer is, right where I am, God is, I am, God is. Right here, right now. And as I know that this is true of me, I know that this is true of all of life, of all of creation, of everyone present here this day, always and forever, that each one is a divine emanation, impartation of the one life, the one Spirit, the one presence. Each one is an expression of the one mind, a transparency for the wisdom of the ages that moves through each one. Each one is a direct vehicle, a vessel for the infinite love, intelligence that is forever creating, forever expanding, forever expressing. And I know that we are one with each other, that we are inseparable from each other. There is no me, there is no other. There simply is the one. And so I speak my word for this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, and all of the lives that are part of this one life of this center. I speak a word of blessing here and now, recognizing that we open to the infinite possibilities that our questions arise. We open to this divine knowledge. We open to the direct revelation of Spirit. We are a vehicle, a vessel, a transparency through which Spirit makes itself known on this plane of existence in this time. We say, use me, Spirit, use me, use us to be your hands, your life, your expression on earth. Command our hands that what we must do. Command our life. We say yes, and we surrender into that. We surrender to Spirit, and trusting and knowing that we are divinely guided, knowing that we are divinely guarded, knowing that Spirit goes before us and prepares the way, making the crooked places straight. We say yes to opening, to listening, to hearing the word of Spirit as it gently guides, as it gently moves, as it gently ushers us into a greater, more fuller expansion of who we are, of what we have come here to do, of what we have come here to be, of how we have come here to serve each other, and serve all of life in the universe. Oh, and how wonderful it is to know this, how wonderful it is to be a part of this, how wonderful it is to be a revealer of truth. And so we allow the truth to continue to walk toward us on the path of our questions, and we continue to walk toward truth. And there we meet, and we know, and we know, and we know. And so I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for this beloved community. I give thanks for the sacred yes that is pulling each one forward. I give thanks for the sacred yes of service that allows us to do the great work that we do in the world, allowing us to be the love that we are in greater and greater ways. And I release this into the law, knowing that it is already done, knowing that the answer has already been given. I let it be, and together we affirm, and so it is.
Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and I won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, this love inside, we can let it shine. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Something wonderful, oh, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and I won't let go. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. Oh, this love inside, wonderful.
Something wonderful
Oh,
is happening to me
right here,
right now.
right now, right here, right now.
Something wonderful,
Wonderful.
something wonderful
So
is happening
wonderful
to me,
to me,
right
to you,
here,
to me,
right now,
right now, right here, right now.
Something
Wonderful, wonderful,
something wonderful
wonderful
is happening to me,
happening,
right here, right now,
right here, right now.
Something wonderful, something wonderful
Is happening to me right here, right now. Wonderful.
So as our beloveds who are in service are making their way forward, I want to share with you that Frank Conley and Cindy Lambert are collecting on behalf of the congregation this morning and receiving on behalf of the congregation this morning is practitioner Jeannie Kataoka. Not Kataoka, Kataoka. Not karaoke, karaoke. All right. Anyway. And so one of the easiest ways to contribute to this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, is via our text to give option. Simply text to 951-419-5858. Type in the amount you are choosing to contribute and hit send. It's just that easy. I say it every week. It's just like texting your friends because it is texting your friends. Every time you use that to text and to contribute, you are texting all of the beloveds you see here gathered in the sanctuary, as well as all of the beloveds watching us online. We are texting our friends, we are texting each other, and we're sharing the love that way. So that's the easiest way. You can also go to our website in the upper right-hand corner. You will see the word contribute. Go ahead and hit that and contribute there. And then, of course, if you're in the sanctuary, you contribute through giving physically as well. And so there is a card, if you do give electronically, but you are here in the sanctuary, there is a card that says $15,000 on it. It looks like a piece of money there. That represents the amount that keeps us going, that sustains us monthly. So that is the monthly amount that sustains us and allows us to continue to do the work in the world. So it is setting our intention there to not only meet that, but to exceed that. So just wanted to share that with you. So I invite you to place whatever you are choosing to contribute this day, whether at home or here in the sanctuary. I invite you to place that over your heart space, and let's say this affirmation together. I give and receive freely and generously, with an open heart and an open mind. The universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is. Let's sing.
All that's good and flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can behold. I am that, I am that. All that's good, all that's good. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a heart can hold. I am that, I am that. All that's good, all that's good. All that's good that flows from above and below. I am that, I am that. All the joy and love that a life can behold. I am that, I am that. All that's good, all that's good, all that's good. Oh, that's good.
So a few things to share with you before we head out onto the patio there for some coffee and cookies and things. The first thing I want to share with you is that it's not too late to sign up for Roots. Wow. I think I'll just take this and go home. No. It's not too late to sign up for Roots. Roots is a wonderful class where we have the opportunity to dive into the works of Emerson Troward and Emma Curtis Hopkins and really get a greater sense of what it was that Ernest Holmes saw in their work and what Ernest Holmes then borrowed and brought in and enfolded into the work that we do here at Centers for Spiritual Living. So this week is the last week to join the class. It started last week. For those of you who purchased the workbook, your manuals are out in the lobby at the registration table, at the welcome table. So I invite you to pick those up there. I want to say good morning to Maria Sneed and Vicky and Marty joining us online as well. And aloha kakahiaka to Casey and Wayne. And yes, and Casey and Wayne and Coco were there last week as well. So then today, Spirit Groups starts today. If you have signed up for Walking the Path Spirit Group, that starts today at 1 o'clock. Yes, hon? All right, at 1 o'clock, they'll be walking the labyrinth out in Grand Terrace. Yes, I was like, it's not Colton, it's the other one right next to it. In Grand Terrace, they'll be walking the labyrinth out there. And so this week is the launch of our spirit groups. And so you will be able to continue to sign up this week and join us this week. Join us online on, you can go to riversidecsl.org and see all of the groups that are available to us to participate in for this season. And so this week and next week will be the kickoff for all of that. So I invite you to join those. So today is Walking the Path Spirit Group. Tomorrow is Whole Health Living. And then another part of our Riverside World Domination Plan is the Green Faith Spirit Group. It meets on Tuesdays. And so because Jeannie and Mike shared with Centers for Spiritual Living always looks for organizations to partner with throughout the year. And so Jeannie and Mike nominated Green Faith, the Green Faith organization, to be a partner, financial partner, to receive tithes from Centers for Spiritual Living. And leadership was so excited about Green Faith that we are not only tithed to Green Faith last year, we have now become a partner with Green Faith doing work out in the world. And so that started right here in Riverside. So I want to acknowledge Jeannie and Mike for their work there. And so Green Faith Spirit Group meets on Tuesday nights. Then on Wednesday, the men of our CSL meet. Then on Thursday night, our LGBTQIA2 plus group will be starting. I'm excited about that. It's going to be fun to get together. And then on Friday is the Sacred Grace Women's Spirit Group. And then on Saturday, we have Raven's Call, which is a small group meeting on the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of the month, working with and exploring the seasonal tides of the year and the seasonal tides of our life as well. So all that's available to you at no cost. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to come together, to connect with one another, to go deeper together, and to learn and experience and express more love out into the world. So make sure you sign up and get connected to a spirit group. Allison, do I have anything else? No. Dinah, do I have anything else? Dinah has something.
Please take the boomsticks with you. Have fun with them at home. I don't want 100 boomsticks at my house. Also, don't forget to sign the cards and write a note and sign the frame that's out there on the other table. There's two tables out there. And for anybody who's online, hi. please remember to email me. I'd love to write a note from you for Rev Jeff if you can't make it in here to do it this week sometime. Okay, and sign your name on the frame.
So to email Dinah, you would email her at president@riversidecsl.org. President@riversidecsl.org. All right. So our affirmation for this week. I invite us all to stand and get ready to say our affirmation for the week. Here we are. It's all about questions and answers, right? So here we go. I will say it, and then I invite you to repeat after me. I ask new questions, and I allow the answers to come. Let's say it together. I ask new questions, and I allow the answers to come. So together, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love lives here. Happy Sunday. Let's sing it.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, share it, receive it, and I move it forward because love lives here. Love lives here.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, I share it, receive it, and I move it forward because love lives here. Oh, love lives here. Love lives here. Woo, here we go. I will stand for love. I will stand for love. As I know I can be strong for love. Yeah. As I know I can be strong for love. I will stand for truth. I will stand for truth. 'Cause I know I can be strong for truth. 'Cause I know I can be strong for truth. Here we go, joy. I will stand for joy. Yes, I will. I will stand for joy. 'Cause I know I can be strong for joy. Yes, I know I can be strong for joy. Last one for God. Here we go. I will stand for God. I will stand for God. 'Cause I know I can be strong for God. Yes, I know I can be strong for God. Stand for love. I will stand for love. Yes, I stand for love. 'Cause I know I can be strong for love. Here we go, last one. Yes, I know I can be strong for love. Woo-hoo.
Have a great week. Yay, Manny's in the house. Love.